Sean Scott. If any of these players score, visit sabres.com/Moes for a coupon redeemable for 25% off your entree tomorrow at participating Moes locations. Welcome to Moes. It's on is the Minnesota Wild team slogan this year. It is off right now. The club has never gone through this type of a drought, losing 6 straight, all of them in regulation time. It leads us to our Integris Energy scouting report, and it's been in many different ways that they've found a way to come out with 0 points on any given night. They were struggling to score, then they got into a couple of wild games with Winnipeg and the Islanders that lost 6-4 and 5-4. The Islander game was a stunning collapse here on home ice at XL Energy Center. Then they got into more of a typical Wild game against St. Louis, but they've still lost 7 in a row against their arch rival as the Blues found a way to come out with a 2-1 victory against Josh Harding and company. And that's another disappointing aspect of tonight, is that we won't get to see Josh Harding as he's not feeling well. And when you consider that he's battling ways to try to treat MS and went on injured reserve prior to the Christmas break to deal with it for 4 games, it's really unfortunate to see that he's not in the lineup tonight. Nick Backstrom will be in. We'll talk more about him coming up. But what do you make of what's happened with Minnesota here to fall out of the top 8?
Well, it's very disappointing. And the big question here now is how stable is the coaching job here? Because, today it just seemed like every loss they have, they start talking about, hey, is the coach going to be around the next day type thing. So that starts adding a lot of pressure on everybody else. And you know what? They've got great goaltending, but it's not been playing well. And it's been struggling off and on all year. They've got great offense, but when they get the offense, they don't get the goaltending and vice versa. So it's something that they've tried to never really had a time where everything has gone together. Early in the year, yes, but lately when the offense is there, the goaltending's not, and vice versa. So it's been tough for this team. It's been tough, and it's a lot of money out there that they've got on the table right now that are looking to make this team look good and play well. So the pressure is on the coaching staff.
Certainly, and Jason Pominville not only brought in via trade from Buffalo, but extended contractually. He's lived up to it. It's his bobblehead night tonight. I don't know how you live up to that.
Well, that's pretty tough. When you got a bobblehead, you're important, and his numbers have not been fantastic. He's doing well, and we're probably where you expect him. But when you talk to anybody within this organization, they love this guy because he'll just play any role. He'll play with anybody, never questions anything, and he goes out and he does his job. You can look at him, they just know that you can put him in any situation. He's going to get the job done. He's going to be responsible, and there's not going to be questions about it. So they definitely like the way he's fit in here.
He told us this morning he wasn't that shocked to not be selected by Team USA, but again, it speaks to the depth of talent that USA Hockey had to choose from. All right, Ryan Suter, you're going to see him for half the game, guaranteed. Plays 30 minutes a night, leads the NHL in that regard.
It's just amazing. And he's gone over 30 minutes 21 times this year. So the other 5 guys that are on the bench, you better make the most of it when you're on the ice, because you're not going to see a ton of ice time when you got this guy in your team. But very responsible. He scored goals in the last 2 games. He's a guy that's up all over the ice. He's just amazing condition when you can maintain the level of play from the opening minute to the final minute and play the same way. That's a very special player.
Nick Backstrom has been extremely special in his position at times during his career. Soon to be 36, been hampered by injuries, both upper and lower body at times this year, and has really been in a slump his last 8 games, going winless over that stretch. Mike Yeo believes that Backstrom can be his guy tonight.
Well, I talked to Jim Corsi today, and I said, what's the problem with this guy? He says he's very athletic. And when you're very athletic, technically, you let things slide a little bit because you try to live on reaction time, and you try to make sure that you're beating the position and you're beating the puck to a certain area instead of reading it and following the puck and tracking it. Tries to do too much, so he just opens himself up. This is one thing he does do. Great poke checker. He loves to get the stick out. He loves to poke check, so be aware of that tonight.
Assuming this Wild team gets healthy and, stabilizes this situation, right now they've fallen behind Phoenix and Dallas, with both of those teams having significant games in hand. Do you feel like Minnesota can stay in the hunt and challenge and get in?
No, I think they can. They've got the personnel here that they can do it. They pull it together soon enough. They get themselves on a roll. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. It is ultra tight, obviously, in the conference. And the problem is, whenever you go on a bit of a slide, it seems like everyone around you is on a positive streak. That's what's happened to Minnesota. Sabres looking for something positive on the road at XL Energy Center tonight.
Casino Resort.
Definitely one of the great road stops in the NHL. Happy to be in St. Paul, Minnesota at the XL Energy Center as Buffalo and the Wild clash tonight, second and final time, and something has to give. More on that coming up as far as streaks are concerned. Rob, we just heard the starting lineup tonight, and I think it's interesting that Ted Nolan goes right back to the Tyler Ennis line that struggled against Winnipeg the other night as his opening line tonight.
I think you have to. That's your go-to line right now. These guys have proven in the last couple of weeks that they can play excellent together. They get great chemistry, so why not? Everybody's going to have a bad game. Now there's a chance to rebound.
Minnesota's lost 6 in a row. Buffalo was in a 7-game losing streak to start the year when they met Minnesota back in October. In fact, this was the final loss of the streak before they finally picked up that first win of the year. Kyle Brodziak opened the scoring against Jonas Enrad. There was an answer from Girgensons to Flynn, but wouldn't you know it, on the night when Jason Pominville returned to Buffalo, the former Sabre captain would find a way to net the game winner.
He did an excellent job. Jason had a great game that night. He did a nice job with the puck, taking it wide. Right here, you see him finishing short side, but it was all night long that this Minnesota team used the rush. They came extremely well, took the puck wide, and tried to make things happen from the rush. We got to be aware of it tonight.
Terrific start to Minnesota's season, but lately, as mentioned, no points in their last 6 games overall. That despite the fact they have a good home record. They're 0-2 on this current 4-game homestand. Buffalo winless on the road under Ted Nolan. That's an 8-game stretch, and overall, isn't it funny how it goes, Razor? Penalty kill's been excellent of late, humming along at more than 90%, but the power play's operating at less than 10%.
Well, it's in the fact of just being hard work. You got to come up with those pucks, win the battles, get the puck to the net. Probably being a little too pretty, not wasting too many opportunities on getting the puck to the net. Just fire everything from the backside, get established a net presence in front, and things will happen.
Ryan Miller, of course, in goal. One day after being named to Team USA, Rob Ray heads over to booths.
Sabres hockey is brought to you by First Niagara, the official bank of the Buffalo Sabres. Labatt Blue Light, the official Canadian import of the Buffalo Sabres. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, the official health plan of the Buffalo Sabres, reminds you that healthy changes everything. Your local Toyota dealer. Where will Toyota take you? Test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Closed captioning for Buffalo Sabres broadcasts brought to you by Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. Better hearing starts at Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, serving Western New York for 60 years.
Battalion in 2006. He currently resides in South St. Paul and is here tonight representing all the great men and women from the state of hockey who so bravely serve our country. Now, please sing loud and proud as James Bone leads us in the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to the second of 2 meetings between the Buffalo Sabres and the Minnesota Wild this season. Dan Dunleavy along with Rob Ray with a call tonight, and of course, Ryan Duff will be along once again throughout the intermissions. Our starting goaltenders tonight brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. Great tasting food, amazing prices. Well, amazing would certainly fit for this man. 3-1-0 in 4 career games against the Wild, and in his last 7 games, Ryan Miller is 5-1-1. with a .954 save percentage and 166 goals against average. Nicholas Backstrom, well, to say he's had his struggles of late, would be harsh but true, I guess. An 8-game losing streak right now. 1 game against Buffalo for his career, and a goals against average he would like to see shrink from 3.93 after tonight's game. This broadcast is brought to you in HD by the new Stereo Advantage. Visit the new Stereo Advantage, located on Worley Drive behind ECC North. Sometimes that's the most dangerous thing, Rob Ray, is to face a player of any sort that's in the same kind of funk that right now Nicholas Backstrom is, and the Sabres will see if they can take advantage of that. And off the opening face-off, Buffalo in the white jerseys from left to right with the puck at their blue line. And a whistle right away. Face-off will be to the left of Ryan Miller.
Yeah, you're 100% right, especially, too, when you've got a team that's struggling to score goals, a goaltender that's struggling to keep the puck out of the net. Yeah, at some point you think it's got to come together, either one or the other or both at the same time, and that is something you definitely have to be aware of.
Buffalo facing the top line of Koivu, Heatley, and Pominville put together by Mike Yeo, head coach of the Minnesota Wild. And Heatley in the left wing corner, deep in the Buffalo zone, under the goal line, plays it behind the net, gets it back again, takes a shot. Easy glove save for Ryan Miller, whose confidence is already high, has to be even higher after this week's announcement.
Yeah, it was excellent. We were in the room yesterday when he was announced, and the respect the players showed him with a round of applause, and everybody be very excited for them. Didn't matter what country you were from, you respected what he has done for this hockey team up to this point, and especially this year, giving these guys an opportunity each and every night when things have not been good.
Top line stays out for Minnesota. Ryan Flynn comes out to take the face-off against Mikko Koivu to the right of Ryan Miller. Just underway, opening period, 27 seconds in. Here's Pominville trying to center, gets it back again. Far side backhand, and that is blocked before it gets out front. And Stafford starts it out with a puck up through the middle. And it's Steve Ott giving chase deep in the Wild zone as the Sabres make their first foray into the Wild wilderness. Underneath that Minnesota blue line. Doesn't last long as Suter brings it back up to the middle. Pass off to his right. Quick shot, loose puck in front. Ryan Miller taking no chances. And we'll see a lot of Ryan Suter tonight, as you mentioned in the pregame show.
Well, definitely he's logged an awful lot of ice time for a man that can go almost 30 minutes a night. Excellent. Right here, you're going to see shots from him everywhere. They're going to realize, hey, we're struggling to score goals. We got to get the puck to the net. We got guys going to the net. And that's exactly what happened right there. But a nice job by the defenders of the Buffalo Sabres, boxing everybody out, allowing Ryan Miller to get the puck to make the save.
Sabres with their fourth line out. John Scott, along with Matt Ellis, facing the second line of Granlund, Niederreiter, and Jason Zucker, put together by the Wild here for tonight. Stoner with a shot, that one is wide. He's in the lineup as well tonight after not being in due to a lower body injury for Minnesota. Zucker on the far side behind the Buffalo net. Pushed off the puck, but the Wild keep possession. Centering pass looking for Granlund, and a shot gathered up by Ryan Miller as he once again gets that glove down at the top of the crease.
Now it's very obvious early in this hockey game they're going to try to attack from below the goal line here. And you're going to have everybody converging to the front of the net. Responsibility of the defenseman is to get everybody out from the front, prevent them from jumping in front of the net, just kind of box out a little bit. Those forwards got to drop down too, give them a little bit of hand, just give Ryan that extra second where he's able to find the puck, get his glove on it, or move it into an area where he wants it to go. But it's very difficult sometimes watching the man moving back and forth behind the net, wondering what side he's going to come out or who he's going to pick off trying to pass the puck to.
Face off has the puck come back into the Minnesota zone. Larson out there for the Buffalo Sabres, along with Linus Ullmark, seeing if they can't find some chemistry together, along with Marcus Foligno. Granlund into the Buffalo zone on the right wing side, plays it behind the Sabres net, comes up the near board. Scandella comes down to keep it in with a touch, and Zucker turns and fires it deep into the Buffalo zone. Comes around far side for Nino Niederreiter. Still looking for his offensive explosion, although he's been a bit better this season. His still a young National Hockey League career. Scandella back in the Minnesota zone. Gives it away at center ice. Sabres transitioning. Here's Ennis. Left wing corner. Tries to spin with it. Does play it back to the point. Shot deflects. And in behind the Minnesota goal. Back to the right point. Myers will keep it in. Too far for Ullmark, who gives just a bit of a stick reach, but didn't move his feet to get to that puck. Ehrhoff keeps it in. Down low left side. Quick shot, and a save made short side by Backstrom. Caught him up high. Myers at the point, backhand to keep it in, but the Wild get it out to center ice. And with 17:40 to go, just underway, first period, no score. Sabres will shoot it right back in as Molson and Ennis continue their foray into the Wild zone. We get a whistle with the referee standing right beside the Minnesota net. Looks like the faceoff, though, will stay in the Wild zone.
Yeah, I think the goaltender's strap came undone on his helmet. The referee realized it, so they made this call. But watch Ehrhoff here. He realizes he's got nothing. He's just going to fire this high on the net. And what he's doing when he fires it high, he's making it difficult for the goalie to handle. So he can stop it, yes, but there's going to be some type of a rebound. He's buying a little time for his guys, hopefully to get to the front of the net and dig up that rebound.
And with those Sabre teammates right in front of the net, not a bad time to put one behind the keeper.
Test them. Yeah, get them thinking, because you want to make sure that you know the goaltender you're going to shoot from all angles. That's exactly what Minnesota's doing to the Buffalo at the other end. They're taking shots on Ryan Miller from all different angles, getting him thinking, not letting him think, hey, this is what they're going to do each and every time.
Sabres win the draw. Molson back to the point. Shot is stopped. Kept in by Patrick. Middle of the zone. Trying to feed Zemgus Girgensons to turn on the puck. Girgensson plays it back to the line. 3 Wild players high in their own zone create the turnover. Now it's into Buffalo territory, but Ehrhoff will back it up. Cross ice for Pesek as A-team up on the back end for the Sabres on this shift. And it's chipped back into the Minnesota zone. Ennis giving chase after it. Underneath the goal line, now behind the net. Battling for that puck along with Kyle Brodziak, who scored one of the 2 goals in the first meeting between these 2 teams in Buffalo. Ennis on it again. Trying to turn it up the wall, near side right wing for Buffalo. Girgensons from the circle turns and fires a shot. Deflects harmlessly over to the far boards, and Suter's on it. Pressured, but plays it quickly. And then turns it over as the puck comes all the way back into the Buffalo zone, and Pesek has it now for the Sabres. Cross ice pass and played up ahead to Steve Ott on the left wing. He tips it into the Wild zone. Touched by Backstrom. And Minnesota going to send this one down the ice. Icing waved off though by the linesman. McBain back after it. McBain tied up somewhat behind the net. Puck comes in front. Miller, big save. Great stop. As Charlie Coyle had a grand opportunity right in front of the Buffalo net. Sabres back into the Wild zone. Stafford facing the glass, far corner, left wing side. To the circle, takes the shot, and that one is stopped over at the far post. Wild wearing their red and green uniforms at home here. Sabres in the whites with the possession. McBain near point. Cross ice pass, McBain takes the return. Rister into the slot, that's deflected wide. And Fontaine takes a look over his shoulder, little touch pass. And the Minnesota Wild making a change as it's lifted into the Buffalo zone by Coyle, who last game out was on the top line, but as the Wild are searching for some offense, he's been shuffled down to center that third line, if you will. Seltzer now behind the Buffalo net. Pass up the left wing boards in the Sabres zone. Now McBain, right wing to center ice, and he'll fire it in. Puck rides the rails behind the net, settles down for John Scott as he gets a piece of it along with D'Agostini. Left wing corner of the Minnesota zone. 15:20 to go. Opening period, nothing on the board yet. Shots at 4-3 in favor of Minnesota. Sabres with puck possession. D'Agostini. Big pass off the left wing boards. That's chopped back to the Buffalo line. Bouncing puck. Myers does a good job to handle that one. John Scott and company help orchestrate it back to Myers. And the pass up ahead to D'Agostini is broken up by the Wild. And is picked up now by Marco Scandella, who's got 10 points on the season, 1 goal and 9 assists. Brodin will shoot it in and then head to the Wild bench. Puck comes into the Buffalo zone on the near boards. Myers got a piece of it. Now Foligno. Left wing boards halfway out of the zone. Pass up ahead to center ice, and it's fired into the Wild end. Myers jumps down low, sends it in front, and just missed. Target in front of the net as Larson was there. Now Ehrhoff back in his own zone, has to reach for the puck. Sabres get it back at center. Up through the Wild logo is Stafford. Slides right wing with a shoot in. Little skate behind the Wild net is Foligno trying to dig it off the boards here on the near side. He's got some help from Larson. Back to the point. Pesek shot, and he didn't miss by much. Walker's side on Backstrom. Sabres behind the net, now in the near corner. Back to Pesek again. Rister is wide off the boards. Larson on the loose puck against Suter. They bang against one another, and then Suter comes back with a hit without his stick on Larson. Suter still without his stick, kicks at the puck, and Foligno plays it back to the point. Sabres keep it in. Good pressure here. Dropped off. Foligno hammers a shot. That goes off his skate. Still deep in the Wild zone. Pesek pinches down to try and keep it in. Now gets back to the point. Penalty coming up on the play, and the Wild touch it up. Buffalo's about to go on the power play. Sabres will have the man advantage. The first special team moment of the game when we return.
When you have a Chamberlain in your garage, you have a garage door opener with plenty of muscle and something more. the intelligence to keep an eye on things, with a battery backup for when the power goes out. And with MyQ, it even alerts your smartphone when someone leaves the door open, so you can close it from anywhere. Chamberlain, smarter is better.
My dad had a Honda, my mom had a Honda.
It was coming from a 2007 Honda Accord. I traded it for a Ford Fusion Titanium. I kind of was indifferent toward Ford, and then I sat in the Fusion for the first time, and I was just like, wow.
You have the power, but you have the fuel economy. That's what EcoBoost does.
I love to tell people, look at what Ford has to offer.
Make the switch to Ford Fusion for as little as $199 a month. Just $199 a month. Now at your neighborhood Ford store.
First, we partnered with doctors and healthcare facilities to ensure quality care. Then, we reduced paperwork and improved communications to deliver it at a lower cost, so we can provide the right care at the right place at the right time. The result is a whole new kind of plan, one that's only made possible by the power of Blue. Say hello to Align, the new plan from Blue Cross Blue Shield that keeps healthcare costs in line. To learn more, visit us online today.
The Ford dealers of Western New York replay brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost, built Ford tough.
Ryan Suter's in the box from the cross check in front. Right here. Larson knocks down Niederreiter with a little bit of a cross check, and then all of a sudden, Suter comes in from the backside, knocks him down, and that's where the penalty was called. But just before that, nice chip in by Tyler Ennis. He gets down there along with Gergensen. They're going to work this puck. And you talk about winning battles. You got to come up with the puck when you get an opportunity down low, and that's exactly what they were able to do. They worked 2 guys versus 3. They were able to come up with a puck and made a play across to the front of the net for an opportunity.
So Sabres on the power play, sent back in their own end. The Sabres power play is brought to you by New Wave Energy. Visit nwaveenergy.com to join the power behind the Buffalo Sabres. Use offer code SABRES. Buffalo to center ice. Here's Stafford over the line, right wing side, snaps a shot, rebounds here, and is cleared before Ennis can get his stick on it. Kept in at the point, though, by Ehrhoff. Lays it off to the far side. Shot doesn't get through. Ennis after it. Stafford parked at the far point. But Cook now in possession for the Wild, and Scandella will backhand it into the Buffalo zone. Marcus Foligno started out on the power plays. He took the face-off in the Minnesota Wild end. Now Buffalo having trouble getting out of their own end. They turned the puck over. As Torrey Mitchell's out there along with Cook. And Cook has it. Far corner hit by Drew Stafford as Cook tried to come up out of the Buffalo zone, at least halfway up the boards. And then it's Cook giving Stafford an extra whack in the leg as those two go to the bench. This power play, though, for Buffalo, already a minute old. No score first period, 12:35 to go, and Tyler Myers will carry it up towards center, then drop it off. And now the Sabres give chase on the shoot-in by Steve Ott. D'Agostini gets there first, and it's unable to be kept into the point as Myers, it was a high pass back to the line, and he'll have to skate all the way back into the Buffalo end. Stop behind Ryan Miller with now just 35 seconds remaining in this Buffalo power play. Their first of the night. Myers up the center ice, had his stick lifted. Sabres in good position. Steve Ott back in his own zone. Still looking for some pressure here with the power play down to 20 seconds. Nicholas Backstrom hasn't been tested on this Sabres power play yet, and the Wild clear it again. Not exactly the first star of the night so far, this Buffalo power play. As Minnesota about to get back to 5-on-5 with a shot and an offside of the blue line as Buffalo tried to gain the zone. Suter now is out of the penalty box. We invite you to stay tuned for the Krupa Collision coming up later in the game, and go to Sabres.com to vote on the Krupa Collision of the Year. You'll have a chance to win season tickets for next season.
Now Drew Stafford, earlier in this shift, he's going to put the hammer down on Matt Cook in the corner. He just comes down the wall and he just puts a big bang. Cook's coming up to play the puck. Drew Stafford just finishes off his check and puts Cook right back down on his back. And as they're going to the bench, Cook not used to be on his back like that. He's usually the guy doing the hitting. He slashed Drew a couple times coming to the bench. So right there, see if there's anything that comes out of that. Not in a fighting area, but just physical play for the rest of the game.
Face off just outside the Wild zone in Minnesota with puck possession now as they're back to 5-on-5. And get the number 1 unit out there in Koivu, Pominville, and Danny Heatley. Sulzer from behind the Buffalo net. Left wing boards pass taken by Marcus Foligno. Cross ice looking for Olmark, and that's too far. And it's offside against, icing rather, against Buffalo. Rob, there wasn't much on that last Sabres power play, but coaches often talk about it doesn't matter if you score, you want to at least build some momentum off it or have some offensive zone time. Buffalo didn't get any of that off that last power play.
No, they weren't. They weren't able to come up with the pucks. Minnesota was forcing Buffalo to dump the puck in or soft chip it. And once they did, they weren't able to come back up with the puck to gain that possession in the zone to create anything. So they got to start winning those battles, get their feet going a little more.
Shot for the point, and that one is whistled wide of Ryan Miller as Suter comes down low, centers in front, bouncing puck in the slot. And Omar got a piece of it to clear it out to center ice. Larson out for Buffalo as well. He'll actually go to the bench just as we bring up his name. And Koivu carries over the line. Left wing circle takes a shot. Short side save easily handled by Ryan Miller. Clearing attempt on the far boards kept in by Minnesota. Pominville from the corner trying to center it. That's knocked down. Now Molson for Buffalo. Makes his way to center ice and puts a backhander off the glass and into the Minnesota zone. Public address folks here in Minnesota thought the play had stopped. Maybe a little music going on during the action. Danny Heatley turns back in his own end. 10.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Nothing on the board yet. Shots at 5-4 in favor of the Wild, and Scandella brings it up to center. Banks a pass off the right wing boards. Cook tips it in the zone. Sabres get it back again, and Gergensen, who was bounced around in Winnipeg, now gains the Minnesota zone. He gets to the front of the net and driving the goal on Backstrom. A penalty coming up. And a hooking or tripping call against the Wild here. And for the second time in this first period, Buffalo's going to have the man advantage.
Excellent job by Marcus Foligno driving to the net. Gergensen takes the puck wide here. He just goes to cut. And as he does, he gets the feet taken out from underneath him. But that's exactly what you want to see right here. He's got guys in front. He knows he's got traffic. He's just going to try to take that puck, take his body, take everything, and create as much havoc as he can. And hopefully that puck finds a way into the net. Nice job.
Big face-off win, shot from the point by Myers. That hit John Scott in front of the net. I guess that's one of the perils of putting the big fellow in front of the net. You got to find your way around him. Buffalo sent back into their own end. Cook deep in on the forecheck. Second power play of the night for Buffalo, and they turned it over. And the Minnesota Wild with the puck back in their own blue line, and no Sabres near them. And it's sent back by Jared Spurgeon in behind the Buffalo net. Tyler Myers watched by Cook. Soft pass. Cook intercepted that with a tip of the stick. Now Ott will carry it out of his own zone for Buffalo. And the power play already 30 seconds old. Here's McBain, right wing. Halfway down the boards, takes a shot. John Scott keeps it in far side. Spurgeon trying to clear, knocked down. Now Myers, far point. Has room to shoot. Opts for the pass off to his left. Back to Myers, top of the zone. He fires one, and that one is wide. Spurgeon's on the loose puck, and he will clear it. It hit a member of the Wild in the bench or the linesman who went into the Minnesota bench trying to get out of the way.
It's a great feeling when the Sabres win.
Last year, we won over 2,000 cases for our clients. So if you need help, give us a call.
Well, this power play of Buffalo sitting at 29th in the NHL right now, up against the Wild's 26th ranked penalty kill. So neither team boasting about where they're at with this particular portion of their game, but Minnesota so far doing a fine job. And Buffalo with a puck at the Minnesota line, trying to gain the zone, and it's a shoot in that Marcus Foligno chases after. Down to the right wing corner, takes the hit, but lays it off for the left wing boards, and Matt Molson as he and Ennis try to work it out of the corner. Comes back to the point. Ehrhoff one-timer, and that one deflects wide near side. And it's clear to the line and kept in. Bouncing puck as Pesek comes over. Plays it to an open corner far side. Trying to tip it up and out of the wall, but unable to get it out. The Sabres keep it in. Far point. Molson works it down to Ennis. Now Ehrhoff. Pesek near circle. Holds it. Can't find a shooting lane just yet. 10 seconds left in the Sabres power play. Their second of the night. We're scoreless in the first. Pesek, top of the zone. Ehrhoff takes a shot off the goal post. Rob, if that was a deflection, it was square off the post. Best chance by the Sabres on that power play as Minnesota's back to full strength. Buffalo behind their own net. 3 Wild players deep, preventing the Sabres from making that first pass for some time. And now Once they do, it's turned over. Suter backing up in the Minnesota zone. Passes up ahead. Nino Niederreiter makes his way to the Buffalo line and in. He'll chase after his own shooting. McBain gets her and takes a hit from Niederreiter. Granlund's on it now. Plays it to an open corner here, left side. Zucker plays it back behind the Buffalo net. Granlund on his backhand. Turns to forehand behind Miller. Now lays it up far circle. Shot goes wide. Comes back to the near point for Suter. Pass into the point. Niederreiter turns and fires a lookout. Fans up in the stands. That one over the netting, it appears. With 7:26 to go in the opening period. Here we are scoreless.
And that's when I gave up gymnastics to become a doctor.
You know, I never noticed just how blue your eyes are.
But they're hazel.
As blue as blue itself. As blue as 165 years of brewing heritage. Blue as the finest tasting Pilsner in the world.
That is the sweetest thing that anyone has ever said to me.
Huh?
What are you doing this Sunday?
Labatt, raise it up.
Nice to meet you, sir. I brought you something.
Honey? I like him already.
Did he say something about honey?
The holidays may be coming to an end, but there's still plenty to celebrate with a new Hyundai. Backed by America's best warranty and ranked #1 in customer loyalty, you'll get everything you need to start the new year off right, now during Hyundai holidays. Hurry in for our best year-end offers.
Now lease a new Elantra for $119 a month, or get up to $2,000 in total savings.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that when a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, it does make a sound?
Oh boy! I'm falling! Everybody look out! Oh!
Little help here? Geico. 15 minutes could save you, well, you know. Anybody?
There's no score here in Minnesota with 7:26 left in the first period. Matty Molson set up in front exactly where you want him on the power play. Great shot. From the point, he redirects it. You see Ehrhoff find the hole, keeps the puck down, where Matty Molson's able to get his stick on it, and directly off the post, as you see right here. He reaches out once again, pulls it in, but not quite far enough. But nice effort. So far in the power play, they only generated 2 shots. They got to start getting a few more opportunities, and they're 0 for 2 on the power play at this point.
You talk about veteran presence. There's Ehrhoff with the high shot early on the keeper when no one was in front of the net. That one low along the ice looking for the tip. He had 4 shots on goal, Rob, in that game against Winnipeg. Wild turn it over just ahead of their own blue line. Sabres attacking left to right. Here's Flynn, backhander, doesn't get through. Chases after behind the net, takes a hit, and the Wild come up with the puck. 7 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the opening period. It is tipped in by Fontaine to the Buffalo zone. Coyle giving chase. He's hit against the boards as Weber took him into the glass. Olmark plays it off the glass. Takes a bit of a crazy angled hop away from Weber, but Ott has it. Puck goes off the back of the Buffalo net. Now Myers. Stretch pass, and Olmark has it into the Minnesota zone. Fires a shot, and that one off the glove of Nicholas Backstrom. Didn't look all that confident trying to handle that one. Coyle in his own end, trying to combine along with Marco Scandella to get the puck out of their own end. Finally, Coyle over the Minnesota blue line, shy of center before it's hammered into the Buffalo zone. And John Scott with a bit of a stand-up hit on Jared Spurgeon as he got that puck near the Minnesota net. Now Koivu jumps on the loose puck. Pominville, left wing, drops it. Shot by Heatley is wide of the mark. Brodin, far point, plays it behind the Sabres net. Ehrhoff trying to tie up the stick of Pominville. Heatley down on the near corner, left wing side. He's in the battle too against the boards along with Pesic. Wild keep it behind the net. Puck bounces over Heatley's stick. That'll give Buffalo some time to get out of their own zone as D'Agostini throws it into the Minnesota end. Players said they love the ice after the skate today, but boy, that puck is really bouncing out here so far tonight. Heatley plays it back into his own end. Brodin carries over the Buffalo line now for Koivu on his backhand. Right wing side behind the net, trying to center in front. Sabres with good traffic in front of the net, able to clear it off to the far boards. Now Molson trying to jump on a loose puck at the Buffalo line. Instead, it's picked up by Clayton Stoner. And the Minnesota Wild all the way back into their own end. Stoner with it now to his own blue line. Left wing side, trying to send one up the middle. That one went off the leg of Kyle Brodziak. And the Sabres with puck possession. McBain behind his own net for Sulzer. Bank pass, interception And the Wild have it now in the far corner. Trying to get the puck to the front of the net. That's where Stefan Veilleux was parked. Veilleux with the puck now. Sulzer picks up that check. McBain behind the Buffalo net. He's knocked down as Torrey Mitchell is on him in a hurry. Saw this with Winnipeg the other night. Back to the line. Shot deflects. And Miller takes a look over his left shoulder now as the puck bounces to the face-off circle. And the Sabres able to skate it out. Zemgus Girgensons giving chase on his own shoot-in. He takes a big hit trying to get after that puck as Nate Prosser and he meet against the boards. Now Myers comes down to the right wing side, keeps it deep, sends one into the slot area. Puck bounces far side for Ott. Played back to the line, shot into the slot. That one goes off his skate. Sabres with it. Ott fires a shot, and what a save made by the pad of Backstrom to keep us scoreless here with 4:20 to go in the opening period. Buffalo on the puck again. Foligno from Flynn takes a shot. Pad save made again. Marcus Foligno looking to get a little more offense going again after he was feeling good for a few games, then came down with a flu bug. Now here's Granlund. Carries it to the side of the net, centering pass, looking for Niederreiter. That's knocked away. Then the puck goes up over the glass. With 4:02 to go in the opening period, we're still looking for our first goal here in Minnesota.
Huh. Isn't it weird that pizzas are round, but the box is square, and their slices are triangles?
What will you think about when you don't have to think about money? Play the games with the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know.
What's it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Hit it, Michael Bolton.
Now that the snow is falling down, baby, my love is calling your name.
Catch the spirit. With standard features like Pandora compatibility and a rear-view camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2014 CR-V from KBB.com's best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
Hi, I'm Leah Sobrowski. You may remember my grandfather, Ted Darling, from his days here in the press box.
I know I do. He's an important part of the Sabres' history, and we're here with an important message.
It's about the life-saving benefits of organ donation. Less than a year ago, I was placed on the transplant waiting list because a rare genetic disease destroyed my liver. I'm alive today because someone took the time to sign up and become an organ donor.
Sign the New York Donate Life Registry. Go to units.org today.
There is no score with 4:02 left in this first period. Our Hyundai leader, the Sabres scoring leaders. Matty Molson leads away with 26 points, followed by Cody Hodgson at 19, Ennis at 15, and then Girgensons and Ehrhoff sit at the 14-point mark.
Well, Zemgus Girgensons 17th in rookie scoring right now, and he's just got a couple of players ahead of him with the 15 points and 16 above that, so he's not far off the mark of being in the top 10.
And now that he's probably going to get more ice time from here in to the end of the season, he's going to have a greater opportunity to start putting some numbers up. Early in the season, might not getting quite as much opportunity. Now he's definitely going to get all he can handle.
Yeah, Sean Monahan with 17 points right now, sitting as the 10th leading rookie scorer. So just off the pace there by a few is Larson giving chase against Coyle deep in the Minnesota zone. Pesek comes down the right wing boards to try to keep it deep, and he does. And the Wild get the puck back. Spurgeon puts it in front of his own net. Minnesota begins their rush with 3.5 to go in the opening period. Down the right wing side, deep in the zone now in the Sabres end. Coyle with a touch, got the puck to the side of the net, but we've got a penalty call coming up. The referee way back at center ice makes this one, I believe, against Buffalo. Or is it going to be... Well, it's tough to tell. Pesek lost his stick. Looks like he's the guilty man going to the box.
Yeah, Mark Pesek's going in the box here.
Penalty, 2 minutes hooking.
Hooking's the call, and while we watch a Buffalo Sabre player go to the penalty box, we remind you to not miss color analyst Rob Ray on WGR 550. The former Sabre takes you inside the locker room and gives you a player's view when he joins Chopin the Bulldog game days at 4 on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Now take a look at the penalty here, down low. Mark Pesek getting his actually stick up on Matt Cook, catching him in the face a little bit, and hooking them all at the same time. Nevertheless, Sabres got to kill off this penalty here with 3:20 left in this first period. Do not give Minnesota any type of momentum here.
13th ranked power play right now in the NHL, and of course Suter with the puck will be the quarterback. Believe it or not, he does not have a power play goal yet this season. Suter with the puck, top of the zone at the left point. Plays it down the left wing boards. Danny Heatley working a cycle off those boards along with Koivu. Back to Suter. Pass to the far point. Suter wants it back again. Instead, Heatley with a tip and Ryan Miller the save. Over at the post to his left. A chance for Flynn to clear it, and he does. Flynn sends it all the way down to Backstrom, who will leave it for Suter. 9 power play assists for Suter on the season. Of his 22 assists coming into this game. Suter now top of the Buffalo zone. Lays it off to the right wing side. Back pass. Pominville has it. Back to Suter again. Koivu from the right wing boards. Plays it down to the goal line. Heatley back to Koivu as they change positions. Ehrhoff defensively. Nice job. And now Zemgus Girgensons with a good positional play. Sends the puck down the ice. And Backstrom out to play the puck with the net well empty. He was way over on the far boards, but he gets some help as he put it right on the stick of Spurgeon. Now Suter being watched by Larson on the power play for the Minnesota Wild with just 28 seconds left in it. Sabres looking to defend Nino Niederreiter this time with Granlund down the left wing side. Pass in the slot, tipped away from Fontaine by Marcus Foligno. Fontaine gets it back. Granlund behind the Buffalo net. Forced to his backhand. The puck comes to the near boards. Sabres with a chance to move it. Weber with a hard around far side, and Foligno's got space. And he'll send it down the ice. No, he sends it back into his own end with 4 seconds to go. And the Sabres kill. The Sabres penalty kill brought to you by Napa. Napa has the know-how. And we get a whistle, the face-off in the Minnesota zone with 1:29 to go in a scoreless first.
Nice job by the Sabres penalty kill, only giving up 1 shot on that power play opportunity by Minnesota. What they did, they collapsed very well, and they forced, and they had somebody in the lane at all time. It really made the Minnesota team try to work it around the outside, wait for something to open up, but it never did.
Sabres win the draw in the Minnesota zone. Wild with the puck. Cook taking the pass, bouncing puck into the Buffalo zone down the right wing side, working on McBain. Cook comes around the near side, still with the puck, lays it back. There's a shot by Scandella. That's stopped. Brodziak in front, can't get the puck. His stick lifted, and then Flynn will lay it off for McBain. Near boards, bank pass for Sulzer. Other side of the Buffalo zone deep. Now the Sabres looking for D'Agostini down this right wing. He's into the Wild zone. Halfway down the boards with a minute to go in the first period. Trying to play it back. It goes all the way back into the Buffalo end, and Sulzer has to race back after. He's being watched by Kyle Brodziak. 7th round pick of the Edmonton Oilers back in 03. Peels off, and the Sabres with 45 seconds to go in the period. Looking to start the breakout this time on the left wing side. Ennis stopped by Mikko Koivu as he got to the line, but the puck keeps moving forward. Now Molson lays it back. Ehrhoff in the Minnesota zone with a shot. That's blocked as the Wild collapse. And now Heatley, one-handed pass up ahead. Here's Koivu racing in towards Miller, and he's tied up by Pesek, who got back and knocked Koivu down. Did not give him a shot. Fans don't like it. Sabres fans say great hustle. Here's Koivu in the slot. Tied up, and a nice job by Matt Molson to get it his way. 15 seconds to go. Here come the Sabres. Into the Minnesota zone is Ennis. Down to the goal line, in behind the net with 8 seconds. Ennis tries to wheel it out in front, and that one is back behind the net again. Girgensons trying to fish it loose. 1 second to go. Back to the line. Ehrhoff, quick shot, tipped by Molson. And pushing and shoving is Molson getting into it now behind the net with Nate Prosser, and here comes the rest of the crew. Girgensons as well.
Now, Matt Molson did nothing. He just redirected this pass that came from the point, right at the buzzer, and he didn't take the shot, and the poser came across. Took exception to it, but before this, in the Sabres' end, Minnesota has a great opportunity here, but a great play by Pesek, knocking his man off the puck. That's Mikko Koivu. He's a big, powerful guy, but nice body position, just bumps him off at the last second, takes the scoring opportunity away from him. But a decent period by the Sabres. Power play did not get anything going, but they created some good opportunities. 5-on-5, generated 5 shots, but they got to get a little extra. Big question is, Drew Stafford went to the room after that big collision with Matt Cook to see if he's going to be able to return in this game.
Well, the Sabres have been dealing with some injuries of late, and that would be a loss, no doubt. Right now, we are scoreless after 20 minutes of play. Ehrhoff led with 8 minutes and 31 seconds worth of ice time for Buffalo in that opening period. Intermission coming up next.
The fastest, most reliable internet and proud sponsor of the Buffalo Sabres. Brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Build Ford tough. Need a new fence, deck, or porch installed or replaced? Cut your maintenance and trust the Vinyl Outlet, the official installer of the Buffalo Sabres. Brought to you by your Buffalo Hyundai dealers. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Buffalo Sabres. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Now at your local Greater Buffalo area Honda dealer. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Scoreless first here at the XL Energy Center. Nick Backstrom winless in his last 8. High shot from Hoff early on. That's Christian Ehrhoff. And then from Steve Ott. It was all part of a period that produced 7 shots on goal. That one off the post on the Molson tip on the power play. This was an unfortunate turnover for Buffalo. It was a little miscommunication, led to a great look for Coyle, but Miller stared that down, and all 8 that he faced from the Wild, including that late attempt from Mikko Koivu. So we see at the end of 20 minutes of play, the Wild with a narrow edge in shots. You see that some of their offerings certainly come from in tight. But again, I thought Miller, looking exactly like he did against Washington in the 49 save effort, seemed to know exactly when to keep the play alive or when to opt for the whistle. And overall, you see a positive Corsi number based on not only the shots on goal, but missed shots and those blocked by opponents as well. Key stat, though, clearly would be Buffalo 0 for 2 on the man advantage with only the 2 shots generated. Definitely the message from Ted Nolan heading in was net front presence. I know you hear it all the time, but he was really concerned with the flybys or drive-bys, if you will, in the last couple of games where it was one and done in the offensive zone. He feels the need to get more bodies in front. The challenge, of course, was sustaining enough zone time to actually allow it to set up and then gets those shots through. We'll see how Buffalo comes out here in period number 2, and obviously keep an eye out for Drew Stafford as well. Dan and Rob with the call.
Well, Brian, you look at other numbers from that first period, too. Rob, we often talk about chasing the game. I didn't feel Buffalo was chasing it too much, but Minnesota was 11-5 on faceoffs in that opening period, and we're not hanging the entire game on that. But as a centerman, that's an area of the game that you're looking at little things you can improve from one period to the next. It's got to be one of them.
Yeah, it's something there at 31% after that first period. When you're losing draws all the time, offensive zone, defensive zone, you're chasing the puck too much. You've got to win those draws, gain that possession. Then you can create from there. When you're chasing all the time, it makes it very difficult.
Sabres right to left in the second period, and the traveling whites and the Minnesota Wild in the red uniforms with puck possession in their own end. And they'll try the breakout now up through center ice. Over the top line again of Koivu, Pominville, and Heatley. Here's a centering pass, and that shot off the stick of Pominville. Goes wide of the mark as he was knocked as he tried to release that one. Pominville has it again. Deep in the Buffalo zone, left wing side. Played back to the point. Suter now comes down to the circle, takes a shot. Miller the save, and the rebound is cleared. Off the boards, Koivu on it. Sends it in front. Pominville with a tip, but it doesn't get to the net. And in front, Suter was tied up as Weber had him all occupied. Now a 3-on-2 for Buffalo. Anderson over the line. Shot is fired wide by Tyler Myers. And the puck rifles all the way back into the Buffalo end. We're just underway, 52 seconds into this second period of the game. Ehrhoff now carries up through center. Dances in over the Minnesota line. Takes a shot, doesn't get through, and off of Brodin. And now the Wild with a chance in their own end. Spurgeon turns behind the net for Brodin. Nicholas Backstrom in goal tonight. Josh Harding not with the team at the moment. And a call-up for the backup tonight, as Darcy Kemper is on the bench as the number 2. Sabres Steve Ott flips it into the Minnesota zone. Flynn giving chase down to the far corner. Doesn't come up with a puck, and he'll turn and head to the Sabres bench. Wild in their own end. Brodin near circle, right side. Has to spin back as he's being bothered. Deep in the Minnesota zone. Nice job by Larson. And Brodin with the shoot in. Larson finishing his check at the Minnesota bench. Sabres with it now. They'll try a long pass. Foligno left wing. He's over the Minnesota line. Takes the shot, and that one is blocked. Comes back to Foligno. Tried to pass far side for McBain jumping into the play, but Nino Niederreiter read that one well. And he intercepts Spurgeon with a quick pass. And the Wild now with some time and space on the far side to move the puck. Back here in the middle of the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon has his pass intercepted. Sabres almost hit Foligno with a break, but he was headed to the Buffalo bench on a line change, and so Minnesota keep possession, and they'll bring it in. Niederreiter, right side shot on to Miller, who makes the save. Then Miller stumbles back a little bit, gets his footing back, and the Sabres send it down the ice. This will be icing against Buffalo.
Well, sometimes you see a lot of things playing on the ice. Not too often you see thigh pads. Look at Tyler Ennis right there. as he's in front of the net, it's falling out. And as this play continues, it ends up laying right there on the ice as he turns up and goes up the ice. Ryan Miller kind of moved it off over to the side, and the Minnesota bench eventually picked it up to get it out of the way. But not too often you see pads out of your pants fall out.
Face off to the left of Ryan Miller. Pominville wins it cleanly. Back to Suter. For Koivu with a shot that deflects again up over the mesh. So that's mesh is 0 for 2 tonight. One at either end of the rink. Nico Koivu, 3 game-winning goals this year for the Minnesota Wild. 99 multi-point games in his career.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. He's a guy, he's a big body man. You don't realize how big he is until you get close to him. You kind of watch him on the ice. He kind of mixes in with everybody else, but definitely uses his body to his advantage. Lots of power.
Good size matchup for Buffalo as Ellis takes the face-off and wins it in his own end. And the Sabres break out. Ellis with the shoot-in. Puck goes off the end boards. D'Agostini, right wing side. Ellis giving chase to the shoot-around. John Scott will get there. Looks back towards the point, then turns it back down low. Can't get it deep, and the Wild will come back with it. 3 Wild players to the Buffalo line and in. Here's Heatley. Sends it in front, and Tyler Myers blocked that pass in front. Comes back to Koivu with a shot, and he missed. Short side attempt on Miller. Another shot. That one from Clayton Stoner doesn't get through. It comes all the way back to Prosser, and he'll fire it back into the Buffalo zone. Myers, far boards, right side of the Buffalo end. Ahead, Ellis. Little backhand pass, doesn't get the puck out of the zone. Ellis and Omar battling for Buffalo. Sabres now finally do get the puck out to center ice. John Scott trying to get in the way of Prosser, and now the Sabres back in their own blue line with Omar. Can't find any room, so the Wild starting to suffocate Buffalo a little bit, trying to get out of their own end. Trying to pick up the pace as well. Mitchell, Brodziak, and Veilleux out there for Minnesota as they put the pressure on. There's a shot from the short side. Stopped by Miller. Second chance, Veilleux again. He had both opportunities. Plays it back to Scandella with a shot, and that hit traffic in front. Trying to play it back to the line was Mitchell. Puck comes outside of the zone. Now it comes back to Brodziak, and he'll just put it in behind the net. Miller out with a leave now for Myers. Weber takes it behind the Buffalo goal, sends it ahead. Steve Ott, one hand on the stick as he tried to tip it outside the line, and he does. Puck comes back to Myers, and he'll play it to Weber, who's got some space. Rifles a pass ahead, and it's tipped into the Minnesota end. And Buffalo can make a couple of changes on the back end with that shoot. And his Coyle now wheels from behind his own net. Falls down as he tries to make the break up the left wing boards. Rodin, pass between the circles. Played ahead. Now the Wild gain the zone. Scandella drives it and scores! A little give and go with the Minnesota Wild defender scoring his second of the year, and it's 1-0 with 15:27 to go in the second.
Well, give and go. I think the Sabres caught watching. Scandella, he just kind of keeps driving right up through the middle, but nice puck movement here by Minnesota. You see, he dishes it off, drives through, gets the puck back. The problem being, everybody just kind of came over to the side right there. He's like, Gergensen lets him go. No D. Christian Ehrhoff is caught over on the other side for whatever reason, and he's got to stay in the middle of the ice. When that puck's up the wall, that man's Pezic with the puck, and if it's moved to the center, coming up the middle right there, Ehrhoff's got to be there to take that man.
His second of the season, number 6, Marco Scandella.
Sabres trailing again. Second straight night on the road. It's a 2-game road trip. Buffalo coming home after this one. Foligno with a shot weak on goal and handled easily by Backstrom. But a faceoff will come up, and now some pushing and shoving beside the Minnesota goal as Foligno follows up against Niederreiter.
I'll take another look at this goal. From the Minnesota zone, we're going to look up through, and you're going to see where everybody was. You see Ehrhoff over on the far side here. This guy's got to back off. Eventually, he's going to be faced right here. Ehrhoff's got to get himself back into that position, though. He's got forwards back. They're there to support. He's got to get back a lot sooner than what he did to get himself established in the middle of the ice to prevent that man from coming straight through. Now you see Steve Ott. He's going at the Minnesota players here, 2 of them in front of the net.
Foligno on the faceoff, wins the draw. Ott on the loose puck back to the line. Sulzer, cross ice pass. Shot by McBain, traffic in front. And that actually went off Jason Zucker. Sabres will keep it in. Sulzer coming down the left wing boards. Can't put it deep. And now 3 wild players. 2 defenders back for the Sabres. Bronziak sends it to the front of the net. Just missing Veilleux, who was driving to the net for the tip. Buffalo back the other way. Sabres looking for maybe a late man sent in front. Steve Ott here at the near post. Had an open net, but the puck didn't get to him in time. Flynn keeps it in. McBain far circle. Sends it in front. And again, wide of an open goal near side. Sulzer with a shot gloved by Backstrom. He'll hold on. Is Buffalo with a bit of an answer there. And you mentioned Steve Ott.
Steve Ott drove through to the net there. He had a great opportunity, but Bronziak just catches it just in time. He gets himself in good positioning. Puck's going to come across. It looks like Steve was going to be able to skate right into it, but Bronziak just kind of sticks out his stick, deflects it. And Steve Ott was just a split second behind there. He would have been able to skate right into that one with a wide open net. He's doing his best out there right now, trying to get this Minnesota team off their game. He's going at everybody that will listen to him and anybody that will come close to him. He's giving them a shot, trying to rile them up a little bit.
99 career goals, 5 goals on this season for the Buffalo captain. And the Wild get the puck to center ice where it's Ellis for D'Agostini trying to chip it in. Myers now at his own end, pressured by Cook on the far boards. Myers has it come back to him. He'll play it behind the Buffalo net. Weber there, his partner tonight, clears it over top of John Scott and up over the glass. Well, that took a deflection, so there will be no penalty on the play. The faceoff will be in the Buffalo end.
Blue Cross Blue Shield values our members by giving a 10% discount at the Sabres store. Just show your ID card. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Healthy changes everything.
It's Cook and Fontaine. They get the assists on the Scandella goal. For Matt Cook, his 10th assist of the season. Off the faceoff shot, stopped by Miller from the far point. That was Clayton Stoner who stepped into that one.
Well, Ryan Miller just trying to make sure he can get that puck, make sure he's getting the save. He's looking to get a little bit of a lineup change here. Minnesota here in this second. Heads their way in the offensive zone. Sabres got to step it up a little bit. They got to get down to the other end, get it and kind of give a little bit business back to what they're being fed right now. They have not tested this goaltender as much as they need to for a guy that's struggling at this point.
Face off, won by Buffalo. Myers behind the net. For Weber and his cross ice pass on the stick of Zemgus Girgensons. 19-year-old gains the center ice red line and puts it deep in behind the Minnesota goal. Wild though will get it out in a hurry. Pominville plays it back and Suter. Pass off to his left. Koivu. Pominville takes a return and scores. From the near circle. 13:41 to go in the second of the Wild with back-to-back goals here in the period. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Pominville snuck this in short side on Ryan Miller. The exact same place he scored in Buffalo and starts from way back in the Minnesota zone. You're going to watch the D. They're backing in way too much right there. Nobody was challenged at the line. They backed right into the face-off circle. And the forwards not coming back. You see the forwards, they're looking, they're trying to find somebody, but you just got to bury your head, get back in an area and pick somebody up. Not a great angle, but Ryan Miller just got caught coming across. He was not able to get there quick enough.
Now Niederreiter trying to backhand one in front, but he stood up and hit to the ice by Foligno, and Foligno's going to get a roughing call, and he can't believe it. And quite frankly, Sabre fans might have a hard time swallowing that one as well. Looked like he played the man well, but the Wild are up 2-0 here in the second.
Twisted knot-like veins can often create heavy, restless, aching legs.
Whenever we would plan outings with the family, I would be thinking about, are my legs going to hurt at the end of the day?
The wanting to sit down, the wanting to rest, I just didn't have the time to do that.
We've come a long way in taking care of vein patients. The future is here now.
I go through my day, there's no pain, no heaviness in my legs.
Now I go running, I don't worry about going out. It's just been a tremendous change in my life.
Welcome to Toyotathon. How can I help?
I'm here to get a Camry.
Oh, Camry's reliable and really fun to drive.
Sounds like I hit the jackpot again.
Again?
Hey, honey. I got you this mochaccino, and on the way I rescued this puppy.
Right now during Toyotathon, you can lease a new 2014 Camry for just $189 a month. Plus, for a limited time, get $500 bonus cash when you lease or buy a Camry. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Toyota, let's go places.
I can only send one of you to cover the game in New York. Who's got what it takes?
Game on.
The more devices you have, the more you need Fios Quantum, America's fastest, most reliable internet.
Still got slow internet, Terry?
No. Yes.
For incredible uploading, streaming, and chatting.
Show them what you got, Ella.
Thanks, Aaron.
In and around your home.
Hey, Dad.
You got it. You're going to New York.
This is definitely the place to be.
You know, she is pretty good.
Technology that raises your game to a quantum level. That's powerful.
The official copier company of the Buffalo Sabres, Toshiba Business Solutions, is your leader in document management.
Now Marcus Foligno's getting a penalty here for roughing. Take a look at this and see what you think on this one. Comes in, plays the puck, pokes it away. He just finishes his check. Down he goes. And right there, he gives him that little bit of a cross-check push down after he's been on the ice right there. And you can see the referee in the far corner. As soon as he did that, he raised his arm to give him the penalty.
Well, 13:29 to go in the second. And already surrendering a pair in this period. Buffalo now on the penalty kill. Puck in the Buffalo zone. Spurgeon trying to keep it in. Heatley at the point does. Sends it cross ice. Suter. Snap pass for Koivu. He's on the right wing boards halfway down. At the hash marks now about a step inside the circle. Sends a pass down to the goal line for Heatley. Comes back to Koivu. Sends it cross ice. Pominville is in the slot. They'll go up top. Suter. Koivu with a shot. That goes off a leg and wide. Trying to get it out was Weber, but he couldn't. Suter keeps it in. Fakes the shot. Heatley near circle, and the slot shot is deflected. As Pominville got enough on it, but it was deflected wide of the goal, and now Suter, little backhand pass. Here's Koivu walking down right side. Heatley, tough angle, tried to sneak it in for the goal line. Steve Ott with a chance to send it down the ice. Can only get it as far as center. And the Wild bring it right back in. Koivu, right side, a foot inside the line for Heatley down to the circle. Goal line pass, Pominville. Back to the right point, Koivu, middle of the zone. Suter holds it. Power play with 55 seconds to go in it for the Wild. They're up 2-0. Tip in front. Whoa, what a save by Ryan Miller. Rebound, he does it again to Pominville, who was parked right in front of the net. Wild keep possession. Koivu near circle. Crowd a buzz after those saves by Ryan Miller. Koivu one-timer. Miller pad save again. Boy, we're getting used to this. Ryan keeping his team in game. Sabres down by 2. Clear the puck down the ice with 30 seconds to go in the Minnesota power play.
Jason Pominville had 3 opportunities on that last power play when they were out there to score.
Suter the quarterback for Coyle this time. Fontaine right wing on the power play. Tried to pass it back to Coyle. Open point, race for the puck, and it's Rodin back just ahead of his own blue line. Pass up to center, Fontaine. For Coyle, right wing side. Bank pass off the end boards. Open ice now for Girgensons and a Sabre rush as they're shorthanded for one more second. In over the line. Here's a shot that goes well wide, more like a pass off the boards for Ehrhoff. He plays it behind the net, and Granlund's on it for Minnesota. Quick tip ahead. Niederreiter facing his own goal with a pass far side. Taken by Scandella. Brings it back to the near side. Brodin, long pass into the Buffalo zone off the stick of McBain. And Jamie will start it out for Buffalo. Pass off to his left. Ehrhoff and McBain back and forth. And now it's Omar. Has the pass go off of his stick. Couldn't hold it. Sabres keep it in the zone. No, they don't. McBain had to jump over a stick. Now race for the puck into the Buffalo end. Racing after it. Torrey dropping it back. Trailer puts it off the side of the net. Rebound. In behind the net. Cook can't get the shot away. There's a shot that's whistled wide by Prosser. Now another shot. Miller makes a save from the high slot. Sabres doing their best to get it out of the zone, and they do to center ice. Now another race for the puck. Larson, the former Wild player, drafted by Minnesota, only played a game for him, getting after it. And a hit on Prosser in the Minnesota zone. Sabres get it now at center ice. Larson with the shoot in. Prosser takes a look over his shoulder, sees Matt Molson coming. No contact on the play, and it's lifted back into the Buffalo end. Weber. Cross ice pass. Myers ahead to Ennis. For Molson off the right wing boards. In behind the net. D'Agostini comes over to try to meet the pass. Ennis on the near boards. Trying to free the puck away. Wild forward, and Niederreiter knocked down to the ice, but Minnesota and Fontaine bring it back in. Niederreiter right wing side. He stood up by Weber. What a hit by Weber. Just got in the lane and didn't let Nino Niederreiter get past him. Sabres down to the Minnesota line, delayed offside. Granlund with a puck, and he'll send a pass into the far corner. 9:35 to go, second period. 2-0. Wild, both goals here in the second period. They're offside, Minnesota, as they gain the zone. Well, Mike Weber doing his best to stand him up. The Wild with 2. Not getting through that time, though, here in the second.
Boy, this is taking forever. Where's my passport? Oh, sorry. Hello.
Where's home?
Canada.
Could you be more specific?
C-A-N-A-D. Hey?
Maybe I should frisk you.
I am feeling frisky. Woo. I think you found something.
Labatt, raise it up.
Hey! Hey.
I brought a friend.
Hey, I brought you something.
Hope you declared that.
Oh, I get it. Work party.
When it comes to crossovers, no other vehicle compares to the Kia Sorento. It has an available GDI V6 engine, a programmable power liftgate, panoramic sunroof, and so much more. And if that wasn't enough, here's one feature the competition just can't beat. Game, set, match. Lease the Sorento LX for $199 a month and see why it's one smart move.
Check it out.
Over 20 million drivers are insured with Geico, so get a free rate quote today.
I love it. How much do you love it? Animation is hot, and I think it makes Geico's 20 million drivers message very compelling. Very compelling. This is some really strong stuff.
So you've turned me into a cartoon. Lovely.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
New York Lotto inside the numbers. The 2014 USA Olympic team was named yesterday. The 25 players are made up of 13 former Olympians, 15 first-round picks, 8 from the state of Minnesota, 5 from the state of New York. Oldest player, Ryan Miller at 33 years old. The youngest player, Justin Falk, 21 years old.
13 former Olympians. That's a number that stands out for me. You need experience in that tournament, and you don't get any more experience than Ryan Miller between the pipes. That experience certainly panning out for Buffalo here to keep it at just 2-0 Minnesota. He's been outstanding again tonight. And the Wild with puck possession attacking from left to right here in the second, looking to add to their lead. Here's Coyle sending it down under the goal line. In front is Cook. Coyle turns, fires, shot doesn't get through. Miller the save. Ehrhoff might have got a piece of that one. Ehrhoff takes the pass behind the Buffalo net. The Wild very quick on the puck. Buffalo with not a chance really to get much room to move it out. So Gergensen's just a bank pass to center. It's all they can do, the Sabres, just to get it out of their zone. And the Wild with puck possession in their own end. Suter to center, left wing side, and the shoot in. Comes all the way around to the near boards. Steve Ott in his own zone, pass back to Pesic. He'll try to gain center, but the pass is knocked down. Line. Tried to get a pass through the middle, but that was knocked down. Koivu turns with it behind the net. Heatley's in front. Pass was there, but Heatley couldn't get his stick on it. And the Sabres, Emgus Gergensens puts it off the right wing boards. He'll give chase. In behind the net, comes up with it here in the near corner, but can't center it as Backstrom was out of position for just a heartbeat there. Now it's kept in by McBain. No shot. Just puts a weak pass off the end boards. Nobody there to receive it. The Wild's Pominville, right wing at center, will shoot it in right on Miller. Ryan takes a look. Keeps the play moving on. Danny Heatley trying to center. That goes right off the logo on the chest of Ellis. Plays it back into the corner, and we've got too many men on the ice. Is Minnesota making a line change, and too slow is right in front of the referee.
Yeah, that was kind of behind everything. Nobody really paying attention to that, watching the play
Minnesota,
down in the Sabres zone. They make this call. Take a look at it here. As we count them up, 2 guys on the backside, 4 up front. And they tried sneaking this top guy off, but he's not able to get over to the bench in time. Luckily, the referees are able to count. Gives the Sabres an opportunity. They're 0 for 2 on the power play with 2 shots to this point. This is the door. The door's open. They score a goal here. It's a totally different game. They've got to take advantage here on this power play.
Face off to the left of Backstrom. Buffalo with just 8 shots so far. Here's one from Myers, and he rips that one wide from the near point. Sabres from right to left and with the man advantage. Molson underneath the goal line for Ennis. In front is Foligno. Molson, a couple of hacks at it. Backstrom can't cover up. Foligno's got it back. Plays it back to Ehrhoff. His shot tipped just wide by Molson. Molson picked one off the goalpost back in the first period. Now Foligno far corner. Trying to pass it in tight quarters, but the Wild are able to send it down the ice and get a change in. 30 seconds gone in the Buffalo power play. They trail it 2-0. Needing an answer here in the second period to get on the board. Ehrhoff up to center with a drop pass all the way back to his own blue line for Foligno. He'll carry to the line and chip it in. Getting there first is Suter, and he'll hard around that one and clear it all the way down the ice. Ryan Miller behind the net, looking for options, and he finds one near corner. Some tight forechecking by Stefan Veilleux as he watched Ryan play that puck for Ehrhoff, who plays it ahead now into the Minnesota zone for Steve Ott, the captain for Ehrhoff, underneath the goal line. Cook trying to tip it up the board's far side. Gets a second chance and clears it down the ice as Myers was just heading to the bench. Ryan Miller will leave it. 40 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. Looking for energy are the Sabres, and McBain slowly inside his own blue line. Another drop pass into the Buffalo zone, and Omar carries this time. In over the line, he'll shoot it far side. Sabres trying to keep that puck deep and get some more pressure here on Backstrom on this power play. Back to the point. Looking for some shots. McBain near side. Pesic, tip pass. McBain comes down, takes the shot. Backstrom got over to make the save. Nice job by McBain to jump into the play, but Backstrom read it well. 6 seconds to go on the power play, and Buffalo forced all the way back behind their own net. So the penalty kill successful for Minnesota as Heatley is out of the box. Pesic gains center. The shoot in. That one looks like it went off Koivu, and here come the Wild to center before they turn the puck over. Now it's Ellis in over the Minnesota line, left wing side. Shot is steered away by Backstrom. Heatley on the puck, trying to play it up through center, all the way back to Weber in the Buffalo zone. Bank pass off the left wing boards for Scott, standing at center ice. Now Myers ahead of his own blue line, back to Weber. Scott with the tip ahead of the Minnesota line, and the Sabres try to chase after it. Scandella gets there first. Plays it up the boards near side. Scott chips it deep. Oh, big hit. Koivu with his shoulder on Larson. Larson gets right back up. Puck comes back to the far point. Myers just directs it into the slot. The deflection harmless to the near boards. Mikko Koivu for Scandella down along the goal line. Far corner in the Minnesota zone. Under 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in period number 2 in Minnesota. Sabres face New Jersey on Saturday back at home. Here's a pass by Weber, intercepted. Zucker lays it off. Granlund fires it off the crossbar. From the slot, Sabres transition. Here's Ennis up to center. Lays it off. Gergensen's trying to drive the net and set it in front, and that is tipped away. It'd be nice to have a little end-to-end action here for a few minutes. 4.5 to go in the second. Ennis ahead of the Buffalo bench, and that puck deflects up into the bench, and we get a timeout. Pominville with one of the 2 Minnesota goals. It's 2-0 in the second.
It's called National Fuel's Conservation Incentive Program, and here's the incentive. Residential and non-residential customers can get cash rebates by upgrading to qualifying energy-efficient natural gas equipment. Learn more at nationalfuelforthought.com.
First, we partnered with doctors and healthcare facilities to ensure quality care. Then, we reduced paperwork and improved communications to deliver it at a lower cost, so we can provide the right care at the right place at the right time. The result is a whole new kind of plan, one that's only made possible by the power of blue. Say hello to Align, the new plan from Blue Cross Blue Shield that keeps healthcare costs in line. To learn more, visit us online today.
The holidays may be coming to an end, but there's still plenty to celebrate with a new Hyundai. Backed by America's best warranty and ranked #1 in customer loyalty, you'll get everything you need to start the new year off right, now during Hyundai Holidays. Hurry in for our best year-end offers.
Come in and lease a new Santa Fe Sport for only $219 a month with $42.39 due at signing.
It's called National Fuel's Conservation Incentive Program, and here's the incentive. Residential and non-residential customers can get cash rebates by upgrading to qualifying energy-efficient natural gas equipment. Learn more at nationalfuelforthought.com.
Buffalo trails Minnesota by 2 here with 4:27 left in this second period. We showed you in the first intermission how tight the penalty killers get for the Minnesota Wild. Well, a couple quick passes sure opens things up. The puck gets to the point, kind of goes back and forth, and they get it down. Look right here in the backside. Jamie McBain's able to sneak in. Beautiful pass, and not able to score, but created a good chance. And then right here, Granlund puts one right off the post as Ryan Miller's out high, cutting the angle down, but he was able to find a hole.
Face-off just ahead of the Minnesota blue line, 4:27 to go, and the Sabres have their captain out there, Steve Ott, along with D'Agostini and Tyler Ennis. Make that Brian Flynn, in the Wild in the Buffalo zone, and a shot glove side on Miller, and he snares that one out of the air. Face-off will stay in the Buffalo zone.
For the team to get the best possible result, it requires hard work, talent, and passion.
Let our team at Celino Barnes help you get the best possible result.
Well, they'll drop the puck to the right of Ryan Miller. Steve Ott on the draw. Out there against Granlund. They'll do it again. Nino Niederreiter in the near slot. Puck comes right to Sulzer. Plays it ahead, and Flynn's backhander gets to center ice just ahead of the Minnesota blue line. Flynn follows up on the play. Now D'Agostini, he'll send it down deep in the Minnesota zone. Left wing corner. Granlund bumps with Flynn underneath the goal line. Comes to Niederreiter, and he'll just bank one out to center. Potential 2-on-1 now for Minnesota. Here's Zucker, fires, scores!
Wow. That's a world-class shot right there. Jason Zucker. You're going to see them work their way out of the zone here. Nobody pressuring on the wall. And Zucker's able to come with speed. 2-on-1 situation. Just inside the post on Ryan Miller. Goes right past his glove. He's got his glove in that area, but that shot was a rocket. And that got up underneath the bar extremely quick, past Ryan Miller's glove. Put them up by 3 here with 3:48 left in this second period.
That's Zucker's first of this season, number 5 for his career. First time he's faced Ryan Miller and the Buffalo Sabres. 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go on the second, and a long pass will go for icing against Buffalo. So your Ted Nolan, your team lost in Winnipeg to a team that looked like they certainly deserved to win that game. Minnesota looking like they deserve to win this one so far. What's Ted telling the players on the bench? You've been there.
Well, I think he's just more or less going to try to find something that's working. He's going to juggle. He's lost Drew Stafford already. He's a little bit short-handed. I think he just got to go in there and he just got to get in those guys' face. They got to let them know, hey, guys, you know what? We're down by 3. We got nothing to lose. We got to get out there and lay it on the line, try to make a game of it. Because right now, they're not giving their goaltender a ton of help. And this guy is a guy that has carried the load for them all season long right now. And I think you got to use that. Try to get them playing for Ryan Miller right now just to help them out a little bit.
Certainly not just a Jonas Enroth situation, who's not got a lot of offensive support either when he's in net. Tonight it's Ryan Miller. Minnesota with 21 shots to Buffalo's 11 so far, and the draw will be to Ryan's right. And don't think the Minnesota Wild are about to stop. They've been hard pressed for goals, so this is fueling their tank, and filling their bucket, if you will. Here's a turnover. Ennis with a backhand, and the save made by Backstrom. Good speed by Ennis. Sabres keep the puck deep in the Minnesota zone. Myers comes down low. And once he's down low, someone's got to back him up, and that's Matt Molson. As here comes Minnesota. Danny Heatley over the line. He's pushed into the boards. And the puck behind the Sabres goal. Myers ahead. Weber cross ice. Ennis gains the Minnesota zone on the right wing side. In behind the net, Jurgensen's on his backhand. Pushed face first towards the glass by Scandella. And now it's Torrey Mitchell. former San Jose Shark, who brings it in right wing over the line. Not challenged. Now he gets the puck to the net, and it's deflected in the near corner. Played back to the line. Scandella cross ice pass into the middle. Veilleux plays it back to the point. Shot into traffic. And Ellis trying to knock it away from Veilleux. Comes to Mitchell behind the net. Brodziak plays it back to the point far side and unable to keep it in. Was Marco Scandella. He'll have to gallop back into his own end along with Brodin. Jonas Brodin, first rounder in 2011. Wild now up through center. With speed over the line with Zucker. Feeling it after that goal. Sabres break it up, and now it's D'Agostini in over the Minnesota line. Along with Ellis giving chase behind the net. Here comes Big John Scott with a hit on Clayton Stoner behind the net. Now Niederreiter into the Buffalo zone giving chase. Ehrhoff gets there first. D'Agostini, nice job to come back and get the puck for Buffalo. Cross ice pass. Looking for Ellis. Ellis got a piece of it. Trying to keep Niederreiter tied up. Now Ehrhoff picks up Nino. Zucker with the loose puck. Plays it into the Buffalo zone. Drives towards the net. But it's kept by Granlund, who goes underneath the goal line. And we've got another penalty call coming up. Is this something in front of the net, Rob? That
this can't be a call on John Scott's hit behind the net. But it's Jamie McBain in front of the net. And he started going off to the Sabres bench. He's getting an interference call here. Take a look and see exactly what happened. Man's got the puck. John Scott goes down and addresses him. And he just runs in to Zucker. You're going to see it here as he turns, as he looks up. There's Zucker. The two of them run into each other. Yeah, he did give him a little extra push, but that's once again two men just making contact. He got called on it.
certainly looked like it was McBain just trying to chase the play.
That happened the other night. You had Matty Molson on the power play on backing up.
1 minute remaining.
And he just couldn't get out of the way of the man backing up, and it was just one guy goes down, so the call's made.
Here's Pominville on the power play. Going to play back to the point with Spurgeon as they gain the Buffalo line. 48 seconds to go in period number 2. It's been all Minnesota. Koivu has to circle back underneath the left circle now. Will bring it up to his own blue line in the center. Pominville for Spurgeon, right wing side. He'll stop at the hash marks. Leave it now for Koivu. Pass down under the goal line. Back to Koivu again up top. Suter. Rister on net. No, it deflects wide down to the near corner, and it's hammered outside the zone by Sulzer, who takes a look up at the clock. Sees 16 seconds to go. The Wild are up 3-0, but this arena is awfully quiet. Here's Suter with a shot from the point. That one deflects wide. 3 seconds to go in the period. Keatley tries to play it back to Koivu, but the horn sounds, as you can tell, after that period.
Now the Sabres giving up 3 goals, only generating 5 shots themselves, are starting to back up way too much. This Minnesota team is starting to smother them in the offensive zone. They got to get into that room. They got to get things figured out and come up with a little pizzazz here in this third period.
All Minnesota in the second. Scandella's second. Pominville's 18th. And Jason Zucker with his first. Ryan Miller and the Sabres left shaking their heads. Still talk about it. Our second intermission coming up next.
Sabres hockey is brought to you by Northtown, the official automobile dealer of the Buffalo Sabres. That's sharing the road to the nth degree. Trusted for over 50 years, Cellino & Barnes is Western New York's largest personal injury firm. The Gates Vascular Institute, building a healthier future. Integrity Office, supplying solutions to all your business needs. And by Kia. To learn more, visit BuffaloKiaDealers.com.
This game tonight, like so many we've seen before, missed power plays in the first, coming back to haunt Buffalo in period number 2. Marco Scandella scoring for the first time in 13 games, his second of the year, set up nicely by Cook. As Rob Ray documented, just a tough read from Christian Ehrhoff's standpoint. And less than 2 minutes later, Jason Pominville, for the second time this year against his former team, is able to deliver. That's goal number 18. Koivu and Suter set it up. And then Jason Zucker, his 17-game goalless drought is over with his first of the year. Niederreiter and Granlund draw the helpers on the play. 3 goals in the frame as Minnesota up by that margin. It is a close game from many other aspects, including special teams, where Minnesota's third power play still has just a few seconds to go in it, but otherwise it's a wash right now. But again, Buffalo was afforded those first opportunities in the first period, didn't make them pay, and have been unable to score, not only tonight, but on this road trip in total. The Vein Treatment Center summary, visit them online at veins.com. Sabres Corsi number takes a hit in period number 2, and that was definitely an aggressive Minnesota team, not only on the rush, but in zone as well. Look at the total shots now for the game that are coming from in the red zone area as they put a lot of pressure on Buffalo's D, and it's been a challenging night once again for the Sabres top line from a plus-minus standpoint. So we'll see how they answer, obviously, as they come out for the third to try and kill off the remainder of the McBain penalty. They're playing another man down tonight among the group of forwards as Drew Stafford is out officially with an upper body injury, as stated by the team right now. You know, if we hadn't had the technical difficulties there at the start of the intermission, we're going to look a little bit at Johan Larsson tonight. I think when you consider what he was able to do in the last game before the Christmas break in his call-up and tonight, there have been some really positive play in both ends by him, but especially in the offensive zone. He's not easy to knock off the puck. He got railed by Koivu and then was the guy that came out of the scrum with the puck tonight. He seems to be doing a lot of little things right, so maybe that's a positive, minor silver lining, if you will, right now, as the club is down by 3, heading to the third as we go to Dan and Razor.
Well, 7 minutes and 32 seconds for Johan Larsson so far tonight. He's had 11 shifts. And you look at his story and his background, of course, being drafted here in Minnesota, but it's not like he played a ton of games. So even when we were talking to him about playing back here in Minnesota, he's quite honest about it. He said, yeah, it's maybe feels a little strange, but it's not like I spent all that long here, to be honest with you. Here's Suter from behind his own net. Buffalo and the Whites attacking from left to right in this third period. They need to attack down 3-0. Ryan Miller behind his own net. Myers gets the puck to the line. Suter keeps it in. Far side, halfway down the boards, trying to get it in front. Spurgeon, and it's sent all the way down the ice. And right on to Backstrom. Nicholas Backstrom feeling pretty good about his game. An 8-game losing streak he was riding coming into this one. Getting the nod when Josh Harding wasn't well enough to come to the skate today nor play here tonight. He's not on the bench backing up this evening. That would be Darcy Kemper doing that, called up from Iowa. Wild in their own zone. Scandella cross-ice pass as Minnesota finish a line change. Scandella can't get the return pass, and Stefan Veilleux, who has 1 goal, no assists so far this year, at least coming into this game, takes a bank pass off the right wing boards to center, met there by 2 Sabres, fights through the check of D'Agostini and plays it deep in the Buffalo zone. Now puck on the far boards, trying to center it in front. Puck comes down to the near corner, deep in the Buffalo end. Ehrhoff around Veilleux with a touch of the puck, and now D'Agostini on the right wing board sends it up through center, and a bouncer. Prosser after it in his own end, just banks it off the boards, and Sulzer out there with McBain. As they go back and forth, and Sulzer now. Bank pass, left wing boards. Matt Molson with the tip in. Backstrom out to play as he's feeling a little more confident, starting to wander away from his cage. Puck sent down to the Buffalo end, and McBain gives the puck away as he tried to pass it for Sulzer, but Sulzer was backing up. And the Wild able to keep it in the Buffalo zone. Here on the near side, Fontaine trying to backhand it deep. Ennis intercepts his pass into the skates of Sulzer, and we have a penalty ahead of the play. This is going against Minnesota. I think it'll be perhaps, Rob, an interference call.
Yeah, Clayton Stoner's going to get the call here. It happened right in front of the Minnesota bench. And he's getting an interference call. Right on the left side of your screen here, when we take a look at it, you're going to see him. Right there, coming in from behind. Knocking down the Sabre player before the puck. No puck. So the Sabres got a chance here with 17:51 left in this third period. Get themselves on the board here with the power play.
Steve Ott now 6-1 on faceoffs after winning that one. Sabres on the power play in the Minnesota zone. McBain near point, top of the circle, can't handle the puck. Olmark there to pick it up for him. He's being pressured by Mitchell. Now back to McBain at the near point, far circle. Shot is there, taken, and it's fired wide. Now Olmark, right circle, halfway down. Right shoulder towards the net, passes back to the line for McBain. Olmark again, hand up, plays it down low to Ott. Underneath the goal line, pass back into the slot looking for D'Agostini, but it missed him, and it's all the way back down to the Buffalo end. 1 minute, 17 seconds left in this man advantage. Sabres have had 3 power plays so far tonight. They trail at 3-0. Neither team with a power play goal on 6 opportunities in total. Here's Ennis, left wing side, down to the hash marks. Plays it back, Ehrhoff holds the shot. Molson back to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff shot, traffic in front, and Backstrom sees through it to make the save. Now to 56 seconds left in the man advantage for Buffalo.
Yeah, that's the 6th shot on the power play that the Sabres been able to generate. Ehrhoff just taking a wrister from the point, realizing he's got Foligno in front. The Backstrom's able to see this puck come through. You see just at the last second there, Foligno turns. Got to keep his body straight in front so you can keep that view blocked of the goaltender.
Minnesota Wild's penalty kill over the last 3 games has been at 100%. They've kept that up so far tonight. Sabres trying to break through on the power play as Myers. Top of the zone on the Minnesota end here at the right point. Sends it cross ice. Ennis in the slot. Far circle. Holds it. Pass in front. And it just missed Matt Molson. Myers off the right wing boards. Plays it back to the line for Ehrhoff. His shot in traffic. Molson trying to get a stick on it. And Brodin had him tied up. And it's sent all the way down the ice behind Ryan Miller, who will leave it with 13 seconds to go. In the power play for Myers, who carries up through the logo at center. Then a drop pass. Been part of the game plan for Buffalo tonight. Ennis now on the left wing boards. Halfway down, then sends it around the near side. McBain looks back to the point. Penalty's over. Back onto the ice is Stoner. Puck sent to the side of the net. Look out, and then Backstrom rolled over as he just covered up that puck. As the Sabres try to go to the net, try to create something here.
Yeah, they generated 1 shot on that power play. They're 0 for 4 to this point. And you see Ennis, he's just trying to get himself positioned in front. Down he goes, knocks the net off, and he ends it on top of Backstrom.
Certainly looked like he had some help from Granlund in getting there.
Yeah, I just think being down 3 like this, they're wasting a lot of time in the movement. I think they need to establish that point shot from either up top, from the side somewhere, try to get these Minnesota defenders, if they get another opportunity on it, you know, to try to start sitting back a little bit, try to open things up a little bit.
John Scott and Suter now off the face-off is John Scott, and Suter got tied up. John went for a little bit of a spill, gets right up in Suter's face.
Yeah, Suter took his feet out from underneath him here right out the draw. They're right against the wall on the hash marks here. And right here, circled, just as they go to drop the puck. Suter takes his feet out from underneath him. John gets up. It just gives him a little pushback.
You think David Boyle's saying, please don't engage that guy right now?
Touch him.
Wrong time to do that.
I would think that maybe the Minnesota guys going in the room may take it easy a little bit on Ryan Miller here too. Don't shatter his confidence too much. We're going to need him.
Scott with a chip into the Minnesota zone. Flynn with a hit as he takes Stoner down behind the net. Puck in the far corner. Flynn, touch pass. Puck still in the corner. Steve Ott shields it, plays it back to the point, and it's an easy glove save for Backstrom in that he just had to reach up. Look out now. Here comes John Scott. He's had enough as he rifles through and puts a glove in the face of Clayton Stoner.
And they're taking Stoner too, not just John. That's a good call. This is a good call right here because John come in to help out. We'll show you exactly here. Stoner's a big man too, standing in front. He gives John a big push right there. But then he pushes Brian Flynn. John Scott takes exception to it. He steps in, gives Stoner another shot back.
I'll be interested to see what the referees give John on this, and you hope it's just the 2 each.
Yep, 2 each for roughing here.
Well, that's the good news, because you feared because of John being John. Well, there you go. We're told he's getting 4, and that was the fear. And too many times, John Scott, now we make our own beds, and yes, but John Scott too many times, and he's saying it again. What? He pushed, I pushed back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Too many times it's becoming a reputation call. And when your size, we showed it so many times this year, you go for hits, and because you're bigger, Tyler Myers was a victim of this a few times earlier in the year. You know, the guys go down because they're much smaller, and it's just almost like you become a victim. You can't touch anybody at some point that lets you square off 100%. Because there's no way you're going to come out on the top side of it, because they're always going to look and say the bigger guy was the aggressor. The bigger guy obviously must have did something wrong or more, and that's a perfect case right here where John's getting the extra.
Face off.
Stoner was the guy that initiated with Flynn, and then with Jan.02.
Face off the Buffalo zone, shot from the point, stopped by Miller. Becomes pretty easy then around the league. It's just, first of all, nobody wants to fight John. Secondly, I mean, it's pretty simple. Just let him push you. He's going to draw a penalty.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Here's Flynn trying to flip it past and behind the Minnesota defense. So it's a power play for another minute 35 for the Wild, and they lead at 3-0 with 14:48 to go in period number 3. This is Koivu for Heatley in over the line, left wing side. Into the circle, Heatley for Koivu underneath the goal line. Back to the point for Suter. Takes the pass on his backhand, now a forehand pass. Mikko Koivu. Here's a pass from Pominville cross ice looking for Jared Spurgeon, who came down off the right wing side. Koivu, right wing boards into the middle. Pominville back to the point. Shot tipped in front by Heatley up over the net. Now from behind the goal. Wild out in front. Shot is blocked. Koivu got the shot away, but that didn't get to Ryan Miller. Wild keep possession. Top of the zone. Suter for Koivu. Back to Suter. Spurgeon cross ice. Right-hand boards for the captain. Koivu holding it in the corner. Now looking back to the point. Suter takes the shot. Miller the save with Heatley looking for the tip in front of the net. Penalty now with 35 seconds left in it. Buffalo shorthanded. Suter keeps it in far point. At the line. Now Spurgeon top of the circle near side. Suter given a lot of space to move this puck around. Now in front for the tip, and Ryan Miller. Great save off of Danny Heatley in the slot, who got a piece of that one. Suter again at the point. A lot of space. This is Koivu far side. Suter comes towards him. Takes the return pass, and the shot. Miller the save. Spurgeon fed Suter that time for that shot, and now behind the net, Ehrhoff with a chance to send it down the ice, and he does. And that'll do it. Sabres kill off that penalty. Omar comes out of the box, and it's Stoner and Scott who remain to serve the other two in their respective penalty boxes. Sabres at center ice get the puck, then turn it over. Brodin with the shoot into the Buffalo end. Over on the far board, Sulzer and Granlund, Niederreiter. Pair of 22s as Larson meets him, battling for the puck. Sabres come up with it. Omar near circle in his own zone. Breakout pass goes off a skate. Granlund got in the way of that one. Zucker can't take it away from Omar, and he feeds Foligno. Left wing side over the Minnesota line. Drop pass back to the point. The shot was well wide of the goal and high. Reaching for it now. Larson, far corner along with Foligno deep in the Minnesota end. Puck played to an open corner. No Sabres in the area, and it's cleared outside the Minnesota line. Larson racing after it. End of a shift against Niederreiter. They bump. Zucker comes up with a puck, and he gets it to the Buffalo line. That's as far as he'll go. McBain. All he can do is just kick the puck ahead of himself into the Minnesota zone, and Brodin quickly starts the Wild breakout, and here come Minnesota over the Buffalo line. Mitchell with a shot. That one is stopped by Ryan Miller. Loose puck, D'Agostini in his own end. To his blue line, and now up to center. Right up the middle, D'Agostini over the line for Matt Molson. Left circle, fires a shot, and that one is wide. Puck comes all the way around the near side and exits the zone down to the Buffalo end. Weber back after it. Being watched there by Brodziak, who gave a little tap as he skated past him. Sabres turn the puck over at the Minnesota blue line. Brodziak at center will backhand one deep in the Buffalo end. Minnesota will change it up with 11:34 to go here in period 3. Cook racing after the puck deep in the Buffalo end, far side. Ennis makes a nice move to turn with it. Cross ice pass, D'Agostini on the right wing, won't catch up to it. Suter gets her. D'Agostini, good stick work though on Suter. And now Jared Spurgeon taken against the boards. Sabres trying to pick up their physical play as Matt Molson down low battling. Comes over. Puck is played away from him. Meanwhile, D'Agostini tied up with Cook deep in the Minnesota zone. They separate from one another. The Wild are in over the Buffalo line. Here's Cook. Pass back towards the point. That was Suter that was tied up with D'Agostini as Cook was in on the rush. Minnesota forced back into their own end.
Head here, Cookie. Head here. Hit the line.
Here the call to hit the line to get it in over the zone. Here's a shot by Cook right on Ryan Miller. Makes the save with 10:45 to go. 3-0 for the Wild. Outshooting Buffalo 28-13 here in the third.
Footlong fans are ready to celebrate at Subway.
It's my favorite time of year.
January is now Janu-any. And any regular footlong is now a $5 footlong. Even the super stacked Italian BMT and the Subway Melt, piled high with ham, turkey, and crispy bacon. Nothing stacks up to Subway footlongs. With $5 footlongs all Janu-any.
Hurry in.
Subway, eat fresh.
When it comes to crossovers, no other vehicle compares to the Kia Sorento. It has an available GDI V6 engine, a programmable power liftgate, panoramic sunroof, and so much more. And if that wasn't enough, here's one feature the competition just can't beat. Game, set, match. Lease the Sorento LX for $199 a month and see why it's one smart move.
Let's talk turkey for a second. Not just any place can make turkey sausage delicious. So when I need some morning motivation, I head to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop for their new turkey sausage breakfast sandwiches. An amazing turkey sausage patty and my choice of an egg white omelet and melted cheese on a freshly toasted English muffin. That's under 300 calories, it's delicious, and I get it any way I want. What? It's a breakfast sandwich miracle from the people who know breakfast sandwiches. Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. Great tasting food, amazing coffee. They're now serving breakfast all day until 5.
The Connors and Ferris replay. Western New York's workers' comp attorney is committed to serving Buffalo and Rochester's injured worker.
Well, Danny Heatley had a great opportunity here, 8-15 in the high slot. They look for this redirection. Ryan Miller able to get a piece of it. But here's Koivu. He realizes he's got Heatley in the high. And it's just a redirection. You see that so often now. Matty Molson on the Sabres does a nice job standing in front, just redirecting pucks. Very difficult for a goaltender to follow that, read it, and make that save. So nice job by Ryan Miller there.
Face off to Ryan's right, won by Buffalo. Sulzer off the boards, left wing side. Missed it all the way down now to Backstrom. He'll play it off, and Scandella under pressure. Turns it over, Flynn right in front. Missed the target, and Steve Otten back come the Wild. Hook ahead of the play, takes the pass from Fontaine and in behind the Buffalo net. Coming down is Coyle to keep it in. Shot from the point is blocked before it got to Ryan Miller, and McBain up through center with a pass into the middle of the ice. That deflects, and the Wild get it back again. Scandella with a pass ahead. Fontaine with a shoot, and that's off the glass and settles at Ryan Miller's stick behind the net. Sulzer with a lead from McBain. And McBain, who came into this game after only one shot on goal against the Winnipeg Jets. That's a player the Sabres are looking for maybe a little more in the way of getting the puck towards the net. Minnesota in their own end trying to clear it out. Suter gets a whack at it, can't move it out. Now it's Myers coming down against Heatley, and Myers is hit there in a hard one by Clayton Stoner. Heatley goes to the bench. Ryan Miller out to play it away from Pominville. Sabres now with Omar at center and in over the Minnesota line. At the right point, stops and plays it deep. Into the Minnesota end for Foligno, far corner. Trying to play it back to the point. Tough one for Weber to handle. Under pressure, the puck gets to the Buffalo line, but nice job by Myers using his stride to get back and win the puck away from two Minnesota players. Boy, in a 3-0 game, you're looking for bright spots. That play by Myers, look out as the puck is fired over the glass, but great hustle by number 57 to get back and break up that opportunity. 3-0 Wild here in the third. 9:01 to go.
Woo. Yeah. A case of Canada's finest for the happy couple.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
It's a lot better than a toaster oven. You know, in Canada, this counts as something blue. This thing on? And that's when I knew Dave was in love. But enough about Blue Light. Let's talk about Jen. Don't know much about her.
Labatt, raise it up.
Welcome to Toyotathon. How can I help?
I'm here to get a Camry.
Oh, Camry's reliable and really fun to drive.
Sounds like I hit the jackpot again.
Again?
Hey, honey. I got you this mochaccino. And on the way, I rescued this puppy.
Right now during Toyotathon, you can lease a new 2014 Camry for just $189 a month. Plus, for a limited time, get $500 bonus cash when you lease or buy a Camry. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Toyota, let's go places.
Become a Green Team member and make a difference in our community this season. The Sabres Green Team will be active in several community initiatives to help make Western New York a better place to live. Do you want to make a difference? Then join our Green Team today. For more information on how to become a Sabres Green Team member, visit sabres.com/green. Remember, blue and gold make green. Presented by National Fuel's Conservation Incentive Program and proudly supported by our green partners.
3-0 Wild lead the Sabres in the third with 9:01 to go. Time to take a look at our Karuba collision. How about a little Mountain Drew Stafford getting in Cook's Kitchen for what is our Karuba collision of the game. Make the right decision. Insist on Karuba Collision, the official collision repair centers of the Buffalo Sabres. Unfortunately for Buffalo, Rob, after that hit, we have not seen Drew Stafford.
Yeah, hopefully it's not something that's long-term, Drew. You know, you're shorthanded on this hockey team already. You need to keep guys as healthy as possible to try to work your way through this. You just don't want to have to try to Band-Aid everything, fill in holes with guys. Because Drew Stafford's one of those guys you need to try to get going and keep going.
Brodin in his own end, far corner. Plays the puck ahead. Torrey with a tip, took a hit, but here come the Wild in the Buffalo zone. Shot by Brodziak, saved by Miller. Brodziak's on the rebound behind the net. Pesic comes up with it. Skating away from Stefan Veilleux. Brodin at his own blue line. Quick turnaround. Gets the puck up ahead, and then Brodziak sent awkwardly to the ice. Gets up just inside the Buffalo blue line. Here comes the next wave, though, is Zucker. Chasing after the puck. Ehrhoff turns away from him. Bank pass off the left wing boards for Ott. They don't connect. Now Zucker, left wing, drop pass, shot by Niederreiter, and that one wide of the mark. Zucker far boards against Flynn. Overcomes Sulzer on Niederreiter as the puck is still in that far corner of the Buffalo end with 7:57 to go here in the third period. Sabres down 3-0. Niederreiter, big hit there by Foligno. And Foligno turns to Niederreiter, had something to say to him after the hit. Niederreiter skates away and then takes a run at Pesic, who just passed the puck off. Pesic takes a return in his own zone. Ahead to Ott on the right wing, but icing call by the linesman with 7:35 to go in the third. 30 shots on goal now for Minnesota.
Well, our final outlet top D. NHL average ice time per game. Ryan Suter averaging 29:42. If you looked at Brian Campbell is in second place. He's like 2 minutes, 11 seconds ahead of him on average so far tonight. He's played 24:05. Will be a huge, huge part of that USA Olympic team.
A moment ago, they had a fan wearing a Team USA jersey on the big screen here and got the crowd a little USA chant.
You see in the first period there, they recognized Suter, Parise, and Ryan Miller. It was real nice in this building, and they've all three got a very nice ovation from the people here.
Clayton Stoner with a pass off to his right and in behind the Buffalo net. Miller will leave it there for McBain. Look out as here comes Cook bearing down on him. Coyle comes up with it far corner. Sulzer on his hip. Now for Cook behind the net, trying to center in front. That's broken up. Meanwhile, away from the play, D'Agostini gets all tied up with Coyle, who lost his stick. They meet again as D'Agostini just clears that puck outside the Buffalo zone to center. Wild Fontaine shoots it back in as Ellis collides with him. Minnesota making a complete change as Buffalo bring the puck out of their own zone. D'Agostini pass off to center, takes a return feed, left wing in over the line. Makes one move under the goal line, centering pass in front. Danny Heatley was there to break it up. Now Larson underneath the goal line behind the net. Plays it for D'Agostini. He's bumped off the puck. Larson can't win it back again, and Koivu at his own blue line. Missed on the first pass for Heatley. Then two Wild players get to the line, and Weber there to stand up at least one of them. He couldn't take both of them, but he got a piece of Jason Pominville.
Well, Mike Weber, it doesn't matter what the score is. He's going to play the same way, and he's going to come out. He's going to play hard. He's going to finish every chance. He's got two guys lined up here. And it almost looked like he tried getting a piece of both of them at the same time. And that's Heatley and Pominville. And they ended up going offside.
Here's a turnover by Omar to Pominville in the Buffalo zone. Heatley back to Pominville, far corner. He's met by Weber again. Puck comes to the near boards and goes up off the mesh, off the stick of Tyler Myers. Face-off will come outside the Buffalo line with 6:07 to go in the third.
Well, Jason Pominville tonight's had a great game. He's able to score a goal, but he's got himself in a great position all night long. He's created an awful lot, along with him and Heatley and Koivu. That's a nice line when they can move the puck. Very good passers, all three of them. You got Heatley goes to the front of the net all the time, but great speed going down the wings.
Passing from inside his own line. Sends a pass ahead to Gergensons. Tipped into the Minnesota end. In behind the net. Backstrom plays the puck. Gergensons near boards. Right wing side keeps it in along with Ennis. Battling there along with Brodziak, who comes away with it. And now it'll be Jared Spurgeon who brings it up to center. Right wing side and fired into the Buffalo zone. Pesek got a piece of it on the near boards. Brodziak overskates it. Sabres bounce the puck back out to center, and backing up into his own end is Marco Scandella. Wild just shoot it into the Buffalo end, and Pesek will get back there to retrieve it again. Minnesota changing everybody as Buffalo sent back behind their own goal. Now Pesek just inside his own blue line. Pass off the left wing, nobody there, and it's just giving the puck right back to the Wild again. Scandella on the back end. Looking for some open ice along with Brodin as Brodin sends a puck all the way down to the Buffalo end. Ryan Miller will leave it behind the net. Pesek now with traffic in front. And Minnesota's not changed a thing from the start of the game. They've got three deep on the forecheck, not giving the Sabres much room. Granlund was in on it this time. Ott just shy of center. Backhands it into the Minnesota end. Here's Flynn on a turnover in the slot. Can't turn and get a shot away. And the Wild end up with a puck. It's Granlund over center. He'll just dump it in. Minnesota seems pretty content with just getting that puck, dumping it deep into the Buffalo end, and having some short shifts here with 4.5 to go in the third, up 3-0. Clayton Stoner. Pass on the right side. Now it's sent the length of the ice. Buffalo's not even getting the break of an icing call in their favor as Minnesota just able to shoot the puck down the ice.
I think the referees are even looking at this. Just let the time go.
John Scott back out there again along with Ellis and D'Agostini. Scott reaching for it deep in the Minnesota end far side. Stoner reaching for the puck. Sabres keep it in. Myers takes a pass in his skate. Nice move into the slot. Myers on his backhand though. Drops it back. Weber to Myers again on the goal line far corner. John Scott from the far circle got the shot away, but it was wide. Centering pass. Nobody in the slot. Fontaine is there ahead of Myers. And Tyler Myers though does have the puck on his own side of center. Makes three lovely moves, weaving his way in over the Minnesota line as Myers down to the goal line, takes a shot from a tough angle, and Backstrom makes the save. Talked with Tyler Myers before the game about playing to his strengths. There's one of his best strengths is skating with a puck. There's a shot stopped by Backstrom from the far circle, and now a race back. Heatley trying to sneak behind the Buffalo defense, but the shot right on Ryan Miller. Blocker saved to the boards near side. Heatley is thundered to the ice by Myers. What a shift by 57 as he now goes to the bench for Buffalo. Meanwhile, Tyler Ennis trying to get the puck deep in the Minnesota end. He stopped on the boards halfway down, and Pesek helps get the puck back with under 3 minutes to go in the third period. Sabres are lifted back into the Minnesota end. Suter will start the rush from behind his own net. Larson keeping watch. Tipped into the Buffalo end by Torrey Mitchell. Sabres get the puck back again. Here's Foligno, right wing and over the line. Takes the shot, and Backstrom right in the Wild logo. Down on his knees, top of the blue ice, makes the save. Sabres with 16 shots on net, trailing 3-0 in the third.
I can only send one of you to cover the game in New York. Who's got what it takes?
Game on.
The more devices you have, the more you need Fios Quantum, America's fastest, most reliable internet.
Still got slow internet, Terry?
No. Yes. For incredible uploading, streaming, and chatting.
Show them what you got, Ella. Thanks, Aaron.
In and around your home.
Hey, Dad.
You got it. You're going to New York.
This is definitely the place to be.
You know, she is pretty good. Technology that raises your game to a quantum level. That's powerful.
I got a Dodge, and him and his brother both were Chevy guys. And one day came home with a Ford, and we were like, wow, are you kidding me? really like the payload. All 2,300 pounds gives me the extra edge I need. The great EcoBoost motor, great power, and great efficiency. I would never guess this is a V6. Felt like a V8 truck. Very excited to go with the Ford. I'm very happy with it. Best truck for your buck?
Make the switch to Ford F-150 and get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,500 trade assist. Now at your neighborhood Ford store.
Hi, I'm Leah Sabrowski. You may remember my grandfather, Ted Darling, from his days here in the press box.
I know I do. He's an important part of the Sabres history, and we're here with an important message.
It's about the life-saving benefits of organ donation. Less than a year ago, I was placed on the transplant waiting list because a rare genetic disease destroyed my liver. I'm alive today because someone took the time to sign up and become an organ donor.
Sign the New York Donate Life Registry. Go to units.org today.
Wild in control, up 3-0 at home against Buffalo. Time to take a look at our Toyota big save of the game. Coyle in front of the net, and Ryan Miller with a quick reflexes that his country will be relying upon in Sochi, as his teammates in Buffalo do now. He's made 28 saves so far tonight. That's our Toyota big save.
And the story once again, Ryan Miller, like you said, giving his team the opportunity to stay within this game early. It's kind of snuck away from here as the game's gone on, but he has definitely played extremely well.
Sabres get another shot on goal off the faceoff. The Minnesota end, and Backstrom forced to make the save. Buffalo sent back into their own end. Steve Ott playing it back onto the goal line, and Sulzer keeps it moving. McBain and Sulzer trying to hit Flynn up the middle. That pass doesn't work. And Buffalo sent back into their own end again. 1:56 to go, third period. Mitchell trying to tip it in over the Buffalo line. That doesn't work. Sent deep into the Sabre zone by Stefan Veilleux. All four lines for Minnesota doing their job tonight. Foligno with a tip in. Agostini now behind the Wild goal. Along with Ellis, who wins it. Ellis trying to one-hand it in front. He's drawn a penalty. Buffalo's going to win the power play. Ryan Miller's gone to the bench. Here's Myers on the right wing boards. He was slashed at, but keeps moving. Foligno, tap of the stick off to his left. Ennis hammers one. Traffic in front. They score! Matt Ellis stays with the play in traffic off the shot, and the Sabres with the delayed penalty call and the shutout bid for Backstrom. It's 3-1.
Now they had success because they had men in front. They got the pucks to the net. You see right here, Marcus Foligno feeding Ennis. Didn't waste any time. You got Webby, Mike Weber, and Ellis right in front of the net, along with Tyler Myers. And you can see right there, Matt Ellis finds the puck. He's able to put it right through Myers' legs and into the net to make it 3-1 with 1:12 left in this third period.
And as soon as this puck is dropped, I would assume once it's anywhere near the Minnesota line, we'll see Ryan Miller back to the bench again. They've got the confirmation they need to drop the puck, and there goes Ryan with the draw into the Minnesota zone. Extra skater comes off the bench, and captain Steve Ott. Minnesota though with the puck deep in their own end. Bank pass off the boards. Tipped ahead for Cook into the Buffalo zone. Gergensen's ahead of him. Koivu all over the inside shoulder of Ehrhoff as Christian tries to move the puck out. Gergensen's back to Ehrhoff again. 45 seconds to go in the game. Sabres with a goalie pulled, but down by a pair. Long stretch pass to Molson at the Minnesota line. Tips it in on goal. Backstrom into the near corner. Ott over skates it. Puck to the line and out. Empty net now, and a chance for the Wild. Tripped up on the play. Brodziak. And they're going to give him the goal. With 25.7 seconds to go and a breakaway taken away by the penalty, Brodziak is credited with the goal.
Now this is a case when somebody's in wide open like this and the net's empty and you haul him down, a penalty being called. Even though the puck does not get to the net, you see it right there. They give him the goal. And that right there puts up Minnesota 4-1 here with 25.7 seconds left.
Off the draw, Larson plays it back into the Buffalo end. Sabres will fly home. Get home pretty early or late, take your pick in the morning. And then on Saturday, have the New Jersey Devils to contend with back at First Niagara Center. Marcus Foligno over the Minnesota line, pass off to the left wing, and that'll do it. The horn sounds here in Minnesota in Wild Country. Finally see a victory, and it has been a while.
Yeah, it has, and the Sabres on this trip, 2 goals. 2 goals in the last 3 games, 1 goal on this trip, 7 goals in regulation in the last 6 games. You know, it just keeps coming back to haunt them, the inability to score. And they always have to seem like they got to struggle to find that offense. And in the last little while, it's just been not there for them.
So it's back home where the home cooking has been very good to the Buffalo Sabres of late, and they'll hope that that returns on Saturday when they face the New Jersey Devils. Scandella, Pominville, Zucker, and Brodziak with the empty